All right. But a little early.
A lot early. I think it takes one.
Does it take a minute? All right. I don't think we're going to be able. Let's just move it. Let's find the best bump music.
Last week it would have been perfect.
Oh, wait. We're almost there. There it is. I'm on my way home, sweet home. That's it now. Yeah, sing it. All right.
Well, I think we make better realtors and lenders
Yeah,
than we do.
We got to work on the
garage
show.
bands.
Hey, once we get built up enough, we'll have like a tech person and an engineer, and we'll have instead of my office, we'll have our own studio and everything and everything like that,
Yeah.
And on that note, we weren't here last week. Thank you for all of your concerned emails about us not being.
Yes, thank you.
Did you get? I didn't get any, but
Not even one.
anyway, we're back with some more real estate and mortgage wisdom. Jude Sandoval, Dream Homes with Jude. John Edwards, Castle and Cook Mortgage.
Yep.
This week is we're just going to talk about really who the heck we are,
Kind of like our jobs, and
what we do, and the questions I get at cocktail parties, like, what do you do? Oh, really?
Yeah.
And when people walk in here and they're like, oh, you own this office? I'm like, I don't, but I own my own business, but I work within another business. So we're going to talk about those structures. And
it's a good topic today.
But before then, you're in MLS.
671.
Take a week off and you're not on it again.
So I'm John Edwards with Castle and Cook Mortgage and Jude Sandoval with Dream Homes by Jude, right?
That's right. And I'm going to get us up on Facebook. So you do some fill time now. Oh, look, we're already up.
All right.
So working good. We were off last week because of
volume down on the phone.
Technical difficulties from our new servers or something. I don't know. I used to be a server in the restaurant. I don't know what a server is now and how it actually serves me on the internet, but that was the problem. That's what they told us at least.
Meaning today.
So
we get rolling?
Let's do it. I think our humor's
Where is
lasted.
slideshow?
Slideshow went away now. See, 1 week off, and it completely went away. Good grief. All right,
Technical difficulties.
You need to fill some time while I get this loaded up
So
here.
what we're talking about today in general, and we'll dive into our presentation here as soon as Jude can figure it out.
Now, this is a challenge now for them to look at our faces and really be interested in what we have to say and not just a slideshow.
I feel bad they have to look at our faces, but at least we have something important to talk about. So in general, Jude, just real estate agent, real estate broker. I mean, we're going to break down a little bit of what that means, what the differences are. Realtor, if you're a realtor, you get very excited about realtor as opposed to realtor.
Right.
I get corrected on that all the time.
Right?
It's very important that you pronounce that correctly. And then lenders, there's mortgage brokers, mortgage bankers, loan officers. So we're going to kind of dive into a lot of that today and what that means and what some of the differences are and how people get paid and you basically get compensated along the way, right?
Let's see how you did.
All right.
What is a realtor, real estate? Yeah. How do you get compensated? Yeah. What is a lender, loan officer, mortgage broker? I know it's so confusing. What do you do for work and how do you get paid? And what makes a great real estate or lending professional? Well done.
Not bad, right?
We don't even need these PowerPoints anymore. It's just kind of like a crutch for us now.
Well, and then people don't have to look at us.
Well, that's true. That's
close,
true. They just get the little one, and then the shine off of our foreheads doesn't blind them, right?
All right.
On to slide 3.
Moving along, number 3.
We haven't lost everybody.
What is a realtor, real estate agent, broker?
Huh.
Are you licensed?
So confusing.
I'll have you just kind of go off on this one, Jude.
Well, so yes,
narrow down those points for us.
All licensed. We all go through a relatively rigorous education in order to learn about what we need to do about the industry and a lot of the legalities and fiduciary responsibilities that go into being a real estate agent or a realtor or a broker. Those are basically just different levels and different classifications. When you get licensed, you become an associate broker. That is just basic flat out real estate agents.
Yep.
Now, If you decide that you're going to join the National Association of Realtors and a local board, like there's the South Metro Board of Realtors.
I do a lot of work with the Mountain Metro Association of Realtors.
Mountain Metro, there's Aurora Association of Realtors. Now, what that is you're basically paying to be part of that organization and use the name Realtor.
To create additional credibility.
Exactly. And they have a standard of ethics that they work by, and that they have kind of a self-policing of people that are involved with the boards and the National Association. Now, a broker, you may hear some people say that I'm a broker. That is a different educational level. That is one step beyond associate broker. That just includes more knowledge, more class time, and the ability to then eventually oversee other agents within your own brokerage, independent brokerage, or if you want to go work as a managing broker like Lewis or John and the ones that we have here at Brokers Guild. So that's the real basics of it now. And in that there's kind of the differences and how it operates, but that's the real basic thing.
So to back it up a little bit, so you guys are licensed.
Yes,
right?
we are licensed.
And you have to go through pretty rigorous program to get there. I mean, the purchase contract itself, and that isn't everything you go over, but it's a good portion of it, is 17 pages of just legal.
I think that's
blah,
increased
blah,
like
blah, blah,
30% since the 13 years that I've been an agent. So it just keeps getting longer.
Every
and
time
longer.
Somebody gets sued for something else, they add another paragraph to the contract, right?
Exactly.
So there's a lot to know. I mean, really, there's a lot to know, and people, the whole for sale by home by owner thing. I mean, in my opinion, you're leaving a lot of risk on the table when you do that, and not hiring a professional to work with you, because it is a complex contract. And I think having a realtor, a real estate agent on your side is worth every penny, in my opinion.
Absolutely. It's not something. It's something that anybody can do, and I liken it to you can do repairs on your car. If you want to, you want to fix your brakes. But do you want to take the chance that you fix your brakes and they don't work when your family's in the car?
Right.
This is one of the largest fiduciary and monetary transactions that you're going to have in your lifetime. Do you want to wing it?
Yeah.
Or do you want to have?
Do you want to find out 5 years down the road that you didn't check a box on the contract that should have been checked, and now you're getting sued for half the cost of the sale or whatever? It happens. I mean, albeit rare. When you're talking about a house purchase, now you're talking about a pretty good chunk of change, regardless of the amount. So, and then from a CE credit standpoint, I know we have some CE credit classes that we offer to a lot of real estate agents. So that's certainly something that you guys do need to have along the way. Do you want to get a little more specific with that in terms of how much you guys need and how often?
Yeah, we have a certain minimum number of hours that we have to go through. One of them is the contract that you talked about that we have to do every single year.
Just to keep contract updates.
Yeah, the contract updates every single year just to know. And that contract, just so people know, that is not something that we change or that we can manipulate. It is a Colorado
sort of a universal.
Yeah, it is a standard Colorado form that we are simply licensed to check boxes and fill in, and that's what it comes. That's what it comes down to. But within that, knowing what boxes to check and how to fill it in is incredibly important. So that's what we're licensed to. That's a majority of that class. But there's also additional classes around financing, about the impacts of different things like marijuana, et cetera, on
title companies,
industry,
home warranties. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff out there.
Lots and lots of stuff. And there was a time where I was a lender, and there is so much to understand and learn within lending itself and just the real estate portion that, in my estimation, is virtually impossible to really stay on it, be incredibly good at it, and do both of them. And that's why great professionals like yourself, like myself, that do this full time, that stay on the continuing education, stay on the pulse of what's going on, are going to do the most benefit to their clients. Because in both of our industries, we get a lot of people that do this kind of part time.
Oh yeah,
a little bit at a time, which there's nothing wrong with.
Every once in a while, but Yeah,
More so
but I
on
think
my
when
side,
you're not
the real estate
like
side than the
anything
lending.
else, yeah, I would agree. But it happens on our side too. I just think if you're not consistently involved with it, you're missing stuff along the way. So, can you work in any state, Jude? Do you have the ability to do that?
Well, I can. There's reciprocity with many of the states, but you still have to go through a licensing process in those states.
Gotcha.
And so personally, I've chosen not to do that. I focus, with the markets, they're so hyper local, knowing neighborhoods, knowing what's going on, being on the pulse of who's building, what the neighborhoods are like, what the soils are like. There's so many things that just focusing in on Colorado, Denver Metro in particular, is a full-time job in itself.
And can you work with any clients? Do you have any restrictions on clients? I mean, maybe somebody you don't get along with.
No,
necessarily agree with their.
In 13 years, I think I've fired one client.
Yeah.
So
seems like that's pretty common. Every real estate agent's had to fire one client along the way.
It's unfortunate when it did happen, but it's just better for everybody, if you're not if it's not working out. So it's a relationship.
Yeah, for sure. You do any commercial work?
We can do commercial work, but again, that is a very specific niche market that has a completely different feel to it with a lot of different nuances. So I do not.
Okay, gotcha. All right, cool. Moving along, let's talk a little bit about who you work for and how you get paid, Jude. Your company name is Dream Homes by Jude, but who's this Brokers Guild company?
Brokers Guild, right. So each and every real estate agent hangs their license somewhere with a company. And within that company, there is a managing broker. So Brokers Guild is a company where I hang my license and John is our managing broker. Now, I've got the licensure
not me,
level. John Pickering, correct. Yeah, not
just
you.
For clarification.
Right. And so now I've got the educational level and the licensing level to be a managing broker. I am a broker. So let's say I wanted to go start my independent agency, or if I wanted to go be a managing broker somewhere, or John retires and they decide
take over
for me to take over, that I have that ability to do that, but I still operate my own business within that. So the philosophy is that there's a managing broker with a company that is overseeing, kind of overlooking and making sure that everything is functioning and working properly, and you're managing your business in appropriate manner. So it's kind of like a self-policing kind of structure to where you have to have a managing broker if you're not out on your own. And then within that, there are a lot of reporting and a lot of paperwork and making sure that you're compliant with all the legalities and laws that are going on. So that is why I choose to hang my license here at Brokers Guild, because it's among other things, it's a family-run business. It's been, Denver Metro only, and they do all of that work, all those legalities. They cover all of that stuff for the dollar amounts that I pay them. Now I could go out on my own, but then I'm going to be responsible for my own independent agency and having to do all of that work, which is a tremendous amount of work in the legal environment that we operate these days, which I'm sure 10 times more than I do.
And I think as well with Brokers Guild, I've seen it just kind of hanging around the office, the level of support and experience with a lot of the managing brokers and a lot of the agents that do hang their license here at Brokers Guild. They've been around for a while. They know a lot about the industry, and they're great support and great people to reach out to if you have questions. So
yeah, it is one of
I think that must be helpful as well.
It is. It is one of the largest agencies in the Denver metro area. Yep. People don't hear about it a lot. You kind of hear about some of the national ones, but in the Denver metro area, it is one. And there's a reason why so many agents are moving to this and to this, kind of this format, and that is exactly what you said, Lewis and John, and the whole ideal, and being focused on a great customer experience and a good client experience, and make sure our agents are doing that is one of the top reasons. And one of the reasons you do a lot of work with our agents.
I love working with Brokers Guild agents. They're always very knowledgeable. They're hungry. They're willing to learn and work together as a team, and from our standpoint, you can't ask for much more than that.
Yep, agreed.
So speaking of me,
All right,
let's talk more about me.
My turn now. So I get to do the
All right,
do
sounds
the
good.
interviewing
Yep.
and the talking. Well, I do a lot of talking anyway because I talk a lot. Are you licensed?
I
Or
am
can
licensed.
you just go print some money and lend it out? And
I cannot.
no, okay.
Nope. So yes, I am licensed, and like you, I have to go through a relatively rigorous, I guess, test, if you will, and in preparing and training for that test, it's pretty involved, and most people don't pass it the first time.
Yep.
But I did.
Do you remember you first time? Really?
Yeah.
You're a rock star.
Yeah. I think it was like a 90 or something I got on there, which is
wow,
something.
that's
Yeah.
really
If
impressive.
you knew me in high school, you'd be shocked right now.
Really? That you
I
got a
am
90?
Lying
Okay.
out of my teeth. It happened though. Yeah. So, yep. Do you need to be
as
licensed?
far as everybody knows,
Right. And we only.
haven't seen your
You haven't seen the
sheet,
actual
but anyway.
certificate. That's right. And we only work in the state of Colorado. And when I say we, myself and our team here at Castle and Cook Mortgage in Denver, we're only licensed in Colorado. Now
Okay.
we can. I think a couple of the guys actually have licenses in other states, and one guy's in Illinois and Nebraska. Castle and Cook Mortgage itself is in probably 17 or 18 different states now.
Okay.
So in our line of work, we're individually licensed per state. We do have the option, like you do, to be licensed in other states, but we just don't do enough work in other states. And, it's not quite as local like real estate is itself, the lending piece to it. But we just, at this point, it hasn't made sense to go outside of Colorado. So Colorado only for me.
Okay. Let's see. So interesting. Well, that got me quickly thinking about kind of the growth of the Quickens and the Rocket Mortgages and stuff like that. And how does that differentiate with Castle and Cook in your ability to lend nationally, whether it's with you or one of your colleagues in one of the other states?
Yeah, so I mean, a lot of your big lenders, your Quickens and bigger banks and stuff like that, those guys have national licenses, national NMLSs, so they're not state specific.
Okay.
When I worked at one of the larger banks before I came over to Castle and Cook, I had a national license. I could literally lend in any state that I wanted to.
Okay.
So it's a little bit different in terms of the licensing and how that works. Most of the time, they're considered mortgage bankers as opposed to loan officers, but it's sort of a technicality in term more than anything. And then you've also got mortgage brokers. And so mortgage brokers, just like an insurance broker or almost any other type of broker, a broker will work for a number of different lenders and sort of choose the best one for you. Here's the best loan option for you. We actually have the ability to broker loans as well, as we're a direct lender for Fannie, Freddie, FHA, VA, and USDA.
So you kind of have
we have a lot of options.
You're like a hybrid where you've got the best of both worlds, where you can do the direct lending and the brokering.
We definitely do.
That's awesome. So it gives you more flexibility in, pretty much if you can't find a way to get it done, it's probably not likely that somebody else is going to be able to get it done. Right?
Yep.
You heard that here. If John can't get it done, you're probably not going to get lent to.
That's probably accurate.
Unless the rich uncle's going to print you some money.
Right, exactly.
Okay. And so continuing education, you have to continue education.
We do. We've got a minimum amount of CE credits that we need to have done each year. I would consider them to be considerably more boring than what you guys get to sit through,
really?
Which is amazing because I've sat through some of your classes as well. Ours are not very exciting, that's for sure. But nonetheless, we do have our annual minimums. So, and then to answer the last question on there, we do not do commercial.
No commercial
land.
Land.
No, we can. We used to have a land loan that we brokered, but we weren't doing it very often, and it wasn't something that made sense for our business. So there's a couple of good land lenders around. If anyone needs a recommendation, reach out to me, and I can get you in touch with somebody.
Okay, so single family.
Residential. So that could be single family, townhouse, condo, multi-unit up to 4 units. We can handle any of that stuff.
Okay, awesome. So what do we got next? Did that answer everything? Oh, who do you work for and how do you get paid?
Right. So I work for Castle and Cook Mortgage. My position is less self-employed than I would say yours is with Brokers Guild, for sure. You really are very much on your own with some support and basically hanging your license.
Yeah, I'm 100%.
I'm working within. I work for Castle and Cook Mortgage as a lender.
Okay.
So I still consider myself to be self-employed. In the sense that I need to drum up my own business to get paid.
Right.
So that's my responsibility, but I definitely get a lot of support from Castle and Cook. So
awesome.
How do we get paid? So as a loan officer, I get paid a percentage of each loan that we do.
Mm-hmm.
That percentage is not negotiable. So don't ask me if I can reduce my compensation. It has been determined that it is discriminatory for us in our side of the business to offer discounts to anybody at all. So we are the same across the board.
Which is different in the real estate industry.
Where
Mm-hmm.
you guys do have the opportunity to adjust your compensation.
But also don't ask me.
But don't ask Jude. Because Jude's been around for a long time and Jude is very good at what he does.
There is a value in the percentage
of value there.
A good real estate agent and what they do. So it's that 0.5% or whatever you're going to more than make up for in your experience.
Absolutely. All right.
That's a funny, interesting one. It would make you wonder why it's wrong for you and how you can be discriminatory and
don't worry, Jude, it's coming your way soon enough.
Thanks, John.
We just are the ones as lenders that got hammered on by everyone 10 years ago. So don't worry, you guys are not too far behind.
And let's see, can they still withstand that?
Okay,
let's bring it to somebody else. They can get kicked too. Anyway.
What makes a great real estate or lending professional? In our opinion, I think experience is sort of the top one. I think that, everybody gets into a new position at some point along the way. Yeah. In my opinion, it's who you're working with to learn and understand the business. I just don't think that there's any exception or substitute for experience.
There's not. That's the 10,000 hour philosophy.
Totally.
You get to 10,000 hours, you really become a master. And I got to tell you, even after 13 years, I'm still learning stuff, every week. And I try to reach out to as many colleagues and have as many conversations with colleagues on a daily, regular basis, because you can pick up things from everybody all the time. And so, having somebody that is on that pulse, again, we talked about in the beginning, of what's going on, what's going on with the industry, what's going on in neighborhoods, what's going on with housing, building, lending, all that stuff. Incredibly, incredibly important.
Yep, absolutely. And who's behind you? Brokers Guild, Castle and Cook Mortgage. I mean, in our opinion, this is really important, as well as not only who is the agent, how much experience do they have, or who's the lender and how much experience, but who's behind them? Who's the company behind them? What kind of a reputation does that company hold?
Right.
On a local level, but also on a more macro level. When you start talking about the bigger banks and the bigger lenders, what sort of a reputation are they holding across the board? Same thing with real estate.
The thing I love about about Brokers Guild is I have access to the owners. Mm-hmm. I mean, they're here and around, and they care about what's going on, what's happening with the agents, how well they're performing, and the experience that their clients are having. So that's just a fantastic thing.
Dedication and loyalty to our clients. I think that I know you especially, and I think we do a great job of it as well. When we have a client, we want to work with you. We want to get you to the closing table. We want that process and that experience to be as high level as absolutely possible. And we do everything in our power to make sure that that's the case. And things are going to come up. Hurdles are going to present themselves along the way. I think it's just essential that that we remain loyal to our clients. We do everything we can to get past those hurdles, make sure the client understands what happened, why it happened, and how we get past it.
If it seems like the transaction is going smoothly with little to no headaches and hiccups, that means I'm doing a really, really phenomenal job. That's not to say that there aren't the challenges.
You just may not know about the challenges.
You just might not know all the challenges that are going on. But if I'm making it look like there are not many, then I'm doing a good job. And I'll warn anybody out there, if you're going to work with me, we're going to be friends for a long time. You're going to be at barbecues at my house. I mean, we just had a barbecue Memorial Day. We had like 60 some people. Half.
I remember not being invited. It was great.
Well, you're all the way up in the mountains, so getting you out of that the mortgage bunker up there in the mountains is very difficult. But so we had a ton of clients that came to the house,
awesome.
And
it's awesome.
We share, and then they meet each other. We
Yep.
just had the clients we talked about a few weeks ago.
Oh yeah.
They moved in just 3 buildings from a client last
Cool.
year that I sold last year. So I introduced them, and
Cool.
their kids are about the same age. So it's that is one of the things that I really enjoy about this job is getting to know. Because we're out there, we're talking about housing, what you like. It's an intimate thing where you're going to be living and how you live. If you're selling your place, it's a very intimate. So I really enjoy getting to know and learning about people.
Yeah.
And then it just kind of morphs into a friendship after a while, usually.
So knowledge of the local market.
I'm on most Christmas card lists.
Knowledge of the local market and the intricacies of the business. Yeah.
Maybe you'll get invited to a barbecue if I get on your Christmas card list.
Sounds like a deal.
Give and take here.
It's important to know and understand the local market, and all businesses have their own intricacies. But in my opinion, like we talked about before, it's about consistency. If you're consistently out there, you're consistently in the market doing work, working with customers, you're going to understand what's going on today and have a pulse on the market.
Yeah.
Availability. I don't know about you, Jude, but I'm pretty much available 24/7, 364 days a year. I might not answer the phone on Christmas Day.
Yeah.
But I might. I mean, it just depends. If you call me, I probably will.
I think it depends on the person, and I have some parameters around when we do stuff. When we're working a deal, negotiating a deal, I'm definitely available 24/7 because there's just times you got to get it done. But I am available. I'll just say I'm on the pulse of everything all the time.
Yeah.
There's times where I have my family and I'm taking care of family stuff, and I'm not going to pick up the phone if I'm in the middle
You're
of that.
in the middle.
But yeah, we're pretty much.
If it's bath night in my house, there's a half hour there where I'm probably not answering the phone.
I remember those days. That's right. It's chaos.
2 kids.
Controlled chaos, right?
2 kids under 5. So up to date on technology. I think this is a big one. I think our industry continues to change and evolve, and technology is no exception to that rule. And I think it's important to have, again, a finger on that pulse.
Yeah. That's the older I get, the more challenging that becomes.
So who are we and what do we do? Just a quick recap, Jude. John Edwards with Castle and Cook Mortgage, NMLS 671258, residential mortgages, purchase and refinance.
Jude Sandoval at Dream Homes by Jude at Brokers Guild.
At Brokers Guild.
Yeah.
Along with Brokers Guild.
I've been saying at Brokers Guild,
I like it.
So we have to say, we don't have to say, but in our marketing, we have to have Brokers Guild somewhere. Like, so I've got my own custom logo, Dream Homes by Jude, but I've got to have Brokers Guild on there somewhere so that people know that that's where my license is. So, we've got all these regulations and stuff. See, people don't know all this stuff that we,
Another great episode, Jude. Any last minute thoughts?
No, I think that's
see this?
Good.
See now
the updated logo. Great segue. Perfect. And the new photo.
Yeah.
A little more gray hair, but that's nice. No, I would just say that if you found some value in this, please like it, share it. Go to our YouTube. I need to update that, by the way, too, with our past episodes.
Me too.
I've been slacking on that. And go to our YouTube channels and watch some past episodes. Share with your friends. And if you have any questions about real estate, mortgage, or interested in, whether you qualify, what your home value is, whatever it may be, talk to a lender, talk to a real estate agent first before you do anything, and we'll get you on the road to where you need to be going, whether that's right away or down the road.
Absolutely.
Anything
Thanks for tuning in.
That's it.
No, we'll see you next week.